Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how my mom became my husband. I'm sure you guys want to know. And also, I'm sharing this video because her name got involved. Okay, so for people that don't know, people who know me personally that are watching me, they heard stories of how it was my mom that ruined my marriage, how my mom left her own marriage to come and stay with me, how, blah, 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 and blah. So it's only nice, okay, that I share her own part of the story. Okay? Share how she started living with me, how she became my husband. You get? If you've not been following me on my series or my story times, please, you might as well go and check out everything because I've shared a lot of stories, okay? Personal stories that have happened to me. So you might want as well go and check those stories out. From how I got married, how he cheated on me, how he took me overseas, how, so many hows. So today I'm going to share with you guys how my mom became my husband and how we started living together. I said how she became my husband because, to be honest, I lived with her more than I even lived with my ex-husband. So basically, I should give her that title. She was there with me throughout my pregnancies. I gave birth to 3 children. She was there with me throughout the pregnancies, throughout the deliveries, throughout the mogul, everything. My children know her. I can travel and not come back for weeks. As long as my mom is here, they are comfortable, they are okay, they are good with it. But she cannot even step out the door to go fetch water downstairs. I'm not saying that she fetches water downstairs. I'm saying she cannot even step out without sneaking out to go buy something because they're going to cry. They're going to shout. They're going to scream as if something happened. But me, I can go wherever I want to go as long as I have this conversation with them. Tell them, don't worry, I'm going to come back. When I come back, I'm going to buy you this one, buy that one, buy it. They can let me go. But see, my mom, they call her Aji. They will not let her go. And that is because she has lived with them. From the time I was pregnant with them, the second voice they heard aside from my own voice was my mother's voice. Okay? Down to this day. So now, how did I started living with my mom? I think that's what you guys want to know. Because there's this thing he has been telling everyone that cared to listen that my mom is the one that ruined my marriage. My mom is the one that, that he doesn't even know whether he's married to me or he's married to my mother. How disrespectful. You guys know that after our wedding, I didn't travel with him immediately to abroad. He went and then 2 months later I joined him abroad. So those 2-3 months that I lived alone, I lived alone. And where was I living? I was living in their family house. Family house in the sense that the owner of the house is his family and his friends. Okay. So they are from the same place, but then different villages. You get If you remember one of my stories when I told you people that I used to go out to one of his friends, chemist or pharmacy, to go and collect food stuff, provision. Sorry, it's this friend now. So he has this house, 1-story building. So he lived up with his family, and then 2 rooms that came out downstairs, he gave it to me and my ex-husband. Yes, my ex-husband was paying rent; it wasn't free, but they are his family. So they told him that it would be better for me to live with them, you understand, because he will not be around so that they can be monitoring me, stuff like that. So yeah, he accepted that. So I lived there. So that 3 months I lived there. And then when I joined him, you guys have watched, at this time must have watched the video I did about my experience there when I finally joined him. So after I came back 2 months later, I still went back there. And this time I was pregnant. So I was living there. And now I was pregnant. And when I became pregnant, to be honest, normally I don't like to cook. It doesn't mean that I don't know how to cook, but normally I don't like to cook. But it became worse when I got pregnant. To the extent that even after I forced myself to cook, I can't eat what I prepared. You understand? I prefer another person to cook what I will eat. You understand? Even if it's nonsense you cook, the food will be so sweet to me because it was not me that prepared it. And I was pregnant. I guess it was my pregnancy hormones or whatever. So those times my mom will come and visit me. And when she comes to visit me, all eyes will be on her. Apart from this person that I'm living in his house, his family members were all living very close by. Like, if I stay in my house, if I shout, they will hear what I'm saying. They will hear and come. You understand? So all his family members were living around me. So whenever my mom comes, all their attention will be on her to know whether I'm packing everything and giving her. I am, to know what she's living with, what she came with. You understand? Because they believe I'm married to their son who is abroad. So he must be giving me how the way I want it. You understand? And that generosity must have extended to my family. So, and my mom didn't used to like to come visit me that time because where I was living is a very bad area. Bad area in the sense that there were touts, there were all these cult boys, robbery, thieves were just happening here and there. You can be sitting outside now and they come and say, and they will show you they are gone. So all you have to do is just give them your phone, give them whatever it is. So that was the kind of area I was living. If you know on Hanku, Road on Hanku, that is where I was living at the time. And then aside from that, the roads there were very bad, terribly bad. So bad that police don't even used to come to that side because of how bad the roads were. And there are so many happy and ways everywhere. So even if they call police and police comes, so many happy and ways they to disappear. And which road you want follow come? You understand? I don't know how that place looks now, but back then in 2014, it was bad. It was terribly bad. On Hanku, Ngwa Road. That was where I was living then. So, and my mom hated that place because it was not safe. You understand? So, and aside from not being safe, where I was living, the 2 rooms that they gave me, it had 2 windows, yes. One this way, one that way, of which if you open the curtains, open the windows, there will be cross ventilation. But because I was living in a very terrible community or area, I couldn't open my windows. Once it is night, once it is 5 o'clock, I've locked up my windows because you can leave your windows open, even though it's protected, it has protector. You see somebody that will use gun and point inside your window and be like, "Aya, wait, where which means I start bringing it." You understand? So, my mom hated my neighborhood and hated the fact that that place was always hot. The rooms then, if anybody remembers visiting me that time, you can testify that at night, if they sleep, heat go. Aye. It was so hot, so my mom didn't even like to come that time. But because I was living there, she couldn't help it and I was pregnant. How many children when my mother get where she will come live one? So she would always come there to visit me and take care of me, do some certain things for me, and then go cook for me, you know, in bulk, and then go back. My dad was alive then. And then after I gave birth to my first child, Anita, he came back. And then when he came back, he said, I told him that I was not going to continue like this, that I was not going to keep living alone by myself. You understand? That I needed us to be together. That was a promise he made to me and my father. You understand? He said that he's working on it. He's working on it. That since I've given birth, that what if my mom comes and start taking care of these children? You understand? So that I can come back, since I now have a child, I can come back and, you know, start working. You know, come back, join him back abroad and start working there. At first, I was reluctant. I said, no, there's no way I'm going to leave my child here alone. Even though my mom is able and capable, and I'm not going to leave my child. You understand? That our child needs to live with us. He said, but for now that we do not have any plan, that once we balance, we can come and take our child. You understand? I didn't agree at first. So when he left, I got pregnant. So when I eventually said, okay, you know what? I think I agree with you. He said, you're pregnant now, so you have to wait until you give birth. After you've given birth, you can now start talking about it. I said, I tried the pregnancy. My pregnancy was 7 months out of that place, but still, I was still living with his family members. You understand? So this time, it was in Obohill Federal School, and it was a 3-bedroom flat. At the back, it was a bungalow, 2 flats, 3-bedroom flats. So that his friend and brother was living in the first flat, while me was living in the back flat. My mom, as usual, would always come and help me cook, help me take care of my children, help me do stuff, and then she would go back to my father. So my parents are young. My father was young. My father died at 55. So my parents were young at the time. So my father was capable to take care of himself. It's not like, you understand. So my mom would come, do certain things. Hi, I stay 1 week. And most times, she doesn't even plan to stay up to 1 week. But it's me that will beg her because I was so lonely. It's me that will beg her, mommy, please stay now. Don't go. Don't leave me. I'll call my dad and tell my daddy, please let mommy stay small now. And my dad will say, Ivy, if you want your mother to stay, she can stay. Okay? So, and my mom will stay for like 1 week. Sometimes mom will say, you say if you're married, let me go and see my husband. Though. Let me go and see my own husband. Abba, don't worry, I'll come back. And then she'll go. And when she goes there, the loneliness will just be too much. The loneliness was just too much. So when I entered, immediately shortly after I entered 9 months. So my mom came to come and stay with me because I was living alone. What if pregnancy labor started when, you know, she's not there? So she came and stayed with me throughout my 9th month until I gave birth to Elena, until I gave birth to Elena. And then When my ex-husband came back, she was doing omowo. So, and then after my ex-husband left, because if he stayed too much na 3 weeks, they stay pass am. You understand? So after he left, my mom stayed until when my child was around 4 months, 5 months. So what she would do is she would travel and go and stay with my dad small, and then come and see me small, and then she would go back. So after I gave birth to Elena, okay, it was even me. They said I've given birth to Elena now, and it's a year plus now. So how about our plans to live together? Can I still come and get a job and work, like we planned? He said, okay, that he will have to. Have I told mommy? I said, yes, I've told her, but you still have to tell her to make it official. So my ex-husband called my mom. In fact, she called my dad. He called my dad and told my dad, Daddy, because he used to call my daddy, Daddy. He had respect at that time for my family because of my dad. So he called my dad and said, Daddy, that he should not be offended. Remember how he promised him that we are going to live together as a family, so that even though the first plan was thwarted, you understand. But then that the second plan now is that he wants me to come and join him so that we can, build ourselves together. Once we balance, we can come and take the children. So that he's begging him to please allow mommy, my mother, to please come and stay with the children. Since the children already knows her and they are very used to her, that if she come and stays with her and I travel, now that they are small and young, that they will not miss us much. You understand? Until when we balance, once we're able to save enough money, then we can come and pick them. And I said, well, that's a good idea too, because him that he's not even happy that his daughter is here and he is there. You understand? So there's no problem that they'll think about it and then get back to him. I said, okay. So after my mom and my dad discussed, Umahia and Aba is almost a stone throw. And plus, we're living in federal school. If you just enter reach Umumpe, you don't reach Ottawa, you've reached Umahia. So my dad told my mom that there is a good idea, you understand, that she should go and stay. Now, the plan was that she will come and live with me fully now, so that the children will get used to her, pending when my visa will be ready, pending when everything will be ready, when I will now travel. So she agreed. So she came and started living. That was how she came and started living with me fully. It's not like on her own, she packed her things, leave her husband, fiam, and came to live with me. It was my ex-husband that invited her through my dad after having these conversations. So my mom came and started living with me. That was how she now came and started living with me full time. So just know that my dad died. And because my dad died, there was no way my mom would not go back to go live all by herself in their house. So I said, Mommy, since you're already living with me, you have to keep staying with me. And my mom almost lost it that time. So she had to continue staying with me. So now, is it now that my dad is dead that you now come and tell a widow to go back? I don't understand it. More so when you're not fully back. When you're not back to come and start living with me. It's not like you're now back to live with me. Even if you're back now to start living with me, you do it the proper way. Because you're the one that asked this woman to leave her own matrimonial home to come and live with me. It was not her that came by herself. She was visiting me and going back, but it was you that had to come and live in with me so that the children can get used to her before I travel. And this travel preparation kept lingering till it took years. So that was how she lived with me for years before my dad died. And when my dad died in 2018. My dad died January 2018. And my first daughter died December 2018. 2018 is the worst year of my life. So, if you wanted to do it the right way, you'd have just rented an apartment for her. And maybe if you're back and you don't want to keep living, all of us living together, you could have just rented an apartment and say, Mommy, I rented this apartment for you. Maybe very close to us so that she will not be entirely lonely. And then say, live there. I am now back. I want to stay with my family. I'd be not be so. But no, that was not what he did. He threw my mom out of my house. Anyway, that's story for another day, Sha. So that is how my mom started living with me. That is how my mom became my husband. That is how my mom took care of me. And is still taking care of me till date. It is still the same woman they said I should sign, that I should not have anything to do with her. The same woman. The same woman that you told her to come and stay so that the children can get used to her. Yes, the children have gotten used to her. And anyways, so that is how I don't know. Whether he actually tried for me to get a job, now only God know, me, I don't know. But I'm telling you what I know. Anyways, thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Until then.